Ladies and gentlemen, the US dollar is going down. The US dollar is losing. The US dollar is losing its value. The US dollar is losing against gold. The US dollar is losing against Swiss franc. Please look at this chart. What is happening at the moment with the US dollar? This is American dollar. Look what is happening. $3,446 per 1 ounce of gold. This is almost the new high. The new high for the gold price. So now everybody who keeps the gold is gaining. Well, who actually bought the gold in last few months is gaining and gaining and gaining. Gold is gaining itself all the time against gold. This is one of the best investment of last 20 years. Actually, this is better investment than Facebook. This is better investment than many tech companies in the United States. So if you ask me what is better to invest, Facebook or gold, I tell you gold. What is better to invest, dollar or gold? I will tell you that is gold. What is better to invest, dollar or Swiss franc? I will tell you Swiss franc. What is better, dollar or silver? I will tell you silver. Look at this chart. This is silver price, and silver is going up as well. Dollar is losing strongly to silver, and it is almost on 40 US dollars for each ounce. $39.69. Look at this. This is 1 hour chart, and 1 hour chart represent everything that we need to know. The 1 hour chart shows that the dollar was almost $40. This is 1 minute chart. Now we are showing 1 minute chart, candlesticks, and $39.96. So well, it was already $40 for each ounce of gold. Well, if you ask me what to buy, dollar or all of those assets and currencies, I will tell you dollar is on losing position. Why is this happening? Well, because they print US dollar in quantities that we can't imagine. Then they print and they have too low interest rate. Well, the interest rate in US dollar is not so low because there are more countries with very low interest rate and currencies. But we are talking now about the US dollar. The US dollar been pumped during 2020, 2022, and now it is losing to almost everything for last 4 years. Actually, giving away dollars for everything was a good idea. Okay, giving dollars for even for secondary currencies was a better idea. Actually, dollar lost 20, 30 or even 40% to many currencies around the world, and I am not talking about British pound or euro or Swiss franc. I am talking about much more currencies. Why this happened? Because firstly, US dollar gained to those currencies, was pumped to those currencies, and reached the point where the actually bubble burst. Actually, it was a US dollar bubble. Actually, we had 3 years ago US dollar bubble. Since that time, dollar is losing and losing, and we are asking ourselves if we are before the 2007-2008 situation when US dollar went down strongly. Well, the British pound is now cutting interest rate to 4%. Canadian dollar cut the interest rate to very low point, and the same Australian dollar. But their currencies actually are losing at the moment strongly, very strongly. What does it mean? That actually US dollar is better than Canadian dollar and is better than Australian dollar, but it doesn't mean it is good enough. This is silver, but if we look US dollar to, you see, USD Swiss franc. Swiss franc, look at this. Looks like this, and this is really amazing. This is really amazing what we are seeing now. This chart represents The collapse of the US dollar. Well, everything is collapsing to Swiss franc. And we are asking how long this can be. Well, once you had to give 2 Swiss francs for each Australian dollar. Today, it's different. Now, you have to give 2 Australian dollars for each Swiss franc. So, you will receive only 0.5 Swiss francs per each Australian dollar. It used to be different. Okay, so if you are asking yourself, can this happen that the US dollar will go to the point of 0.5 below 1 Swiss franc? Well, it is already that US dollar is 0.8. 0.8, and it was already, as we can see here, it was already 0.7. When was it? In 2011. 0.7 to Swiss franc. Okay, US dollar is losing to everything. Well, it gained before, that's why it's losing, but Swiss franc is different story. So there are if you ask me what is better, Facebook shares or US dollar, I tell you gold. I would not want Facebook shares, and I would not want US dollar. Because the Facebook shares are actually nominated in dollars, so I wouldn't buy Facebook shares. I rather buy gold. I rather buy Swiss franc. I rather buy silver. I rather pay off the mortgage. That can be very the interest rate can be very high now at the moment. Depends on which country. So you will have lower interest rate, lower installment, lower monthly payments. Ladies and gentlemen, once the dollar was very expensive, now it is going down. But we have to ask, will it happen? What happened during 2007-2008 crisis? Well, it can happen. It can happen. US dollar has still very high interest rate. They can't actually lower interest rate, but they've got low inflation. This what actually British did was very strange, as they've got very high inflation and they actually cut the interest rate to the point that we in the financial markets say, wow, it's crazy, what are they doing? Do they want to destroy the British pound? Well, the inflation rate in the United Kingdom today is 3.8, but they cut interest rate to 4%. So that means you will receive less in your bank account than official inflation. This is disaster for British pound. But if we look at the US dollar, what is happening to the British pound, USD, GBP, okay, what is happening? It is losing. It is losing, but it was pumped. You see, it was pumped, but it's losing. But the British currency itself is very weak anyway. Okay, we can check what is happening to the euro. 0.85. 0.85, ladies and gentlemen, from 1 to 0.85. Okay, now we are not even in halfway that happened before 2006-2007. That means having this today, this dollars, American dollars now, means that you may lose another 20, 30, 40% compared to move that you actually been buying for those dollars, or you will buy for those dollars currency that will gain. Of course, that may not happen, but well, we are just thinking if this will happen. It happened already strongly now for 4 years. The dollar is losing to everything, and probably it will. Probably it will, because it was pumped. That's it. It was too strong. It was too expensive, and now it must gain this this momentum, this equilibrium. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. I hope you like this video. Please subscribe and watch another video about collapsing of the British pound and collapsing of the British economy itself. Thank you very much. Bye bye.